Hi, my name is Michael Skansgard, a Senior Literature Specialist at NTK Academic Group. If you're considering submitting poetry for the Hong Kong Young Writers Awards competition, stay tuned for this video in which I will be discussing one of the key elements of poetry, which is called figurative language. Today, I would like to respond to one frequently asked question: does poetry have to rhyme? The answer might surprise you. Traditionally, Greek and Roman poems did not rhyme, and even in Renaissance Europe, a time during which most poems rhymed, the poets themselves agreed that rhyming is not the same as poetry. So if poetry doesn't have to rhyme, what should it do? The answer, it seems, has to do with strangeness. Nobody wants to read a boring poem. So one thing that almost all poetic language has in common is that it's different from everyday speech. So instead of recalling old memories, a poet, for example, might reminisce about memories old. Or rather than composing an ode to brave soldiers, a poet might choose to address soldiers brave. Perhaps the best way to make poetic speech seem interesting and unusual is to use something called figurative language. So what are figures of speech? We use them all the time. If I'm feeling sick, I might say that I'm under the weather, even if the weather isn't literally on top of me. Or if I'm not feeling sick, I might say something like, I'm all right. That doesn't mean that I'm right about everything, of course. Just don't tell that to my students. Figures of speech allow us to make strange and unexpected comparisons. So if I want to describe my nose, it would be very boring to say, Michael has a big nose, or Michael has a small nose. So since the topic for this competition is New Tales of the Gobi Desert, let's try comparing Michael's nose to a desert animal, like the sand grouse. So what can sand grouse do? They can perch on things, they can flap their wings, so we can use these verbs to describe an element of my face. We could say something like this: the nose perched stubbornly on Michael's face, flapping its nostrils in agitation. Or, if we want to convey a different emotion, we could try comparing it to another desert animal, a camel. Michael's incredible hump nose pawed the air like an impatient camel. It's okay for these comparisons to be fun and outrageous. The stranger the better. If we want to compare my nose to a desert mouse, we could say something like this: as soon as it sniffed the smell of cheese, Michael's nose scurried off like a long-eared jerboa. The main rule to follow is that if you're having fun composing the poem, you're probably on the right track. Thanks for watching the first video of my 3-part series. For more information on the Hong Kong Young Writers Awards, please visit the links below. Also, stay tuned for my second video, during which I will discuss how imagery and imagination can help you take your poetry to the next level.